I want about your merch. Do you earn money from your merch?
Some of her. I don't. I'm not like a. I'm not always watching Tori's videos. The Rise fans. They look. The Russian fandom even has those people. Wow.
Only girls. Only girls. Not boys. Only girls. Not women.
Yeah.
Girls. Hey everyone, it's 21 here, a Russian TMNT YouTuber, and today I'm super excited to have Tatoruzu join me for this interview. This is my very first calling collab, and as far as I know, the first time a Russian and American TMNT YouTuber have teamed up. We'll be talking about the fandom, fans, Russia, and tons more. A massive thanks to Tatoruzu for taking the time to chat. This is actually my first interview ever, so go easy on me, drop your tips in the comments, and critics also. So, hope you enjoy. Let's start. So, hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm good. What about you?
Oh, not too bad.
Thanks a lot for joining me today. It's a big deal for me personally. You're one of the boldest voices in the fandom, and I'm excited to dig into your thoughts. Are you ready?
Oh yeah, I'm ready, and I appreciate you talking to me. It's nice to connect with the Russian TMNT community.
Yeah, it's a really big deal for the whole TMNT community. So let's jump right in. Let's get to know you. What's your name? How old are you? And what do you do in life?
Yeah. So my name is Tatoruzu. I don't really go by my official real name.
Okay.
For my YouTube content. But there is kind of a joke in my community that, this is the real me. I am a talking turtle. So, for all intents and purposes, Tatoruzu is me, and I am Tatoruzu. As far as my age, all of the Redditors and all of the Rise fans and younger TMNT fans, they call me a Kawa Boomer. So the joke is I'm around 60 years old.
Oh.
You could say if I'm really 60 or not, whatever. If you watch all of my videos, I sometimes drop hints about where my age range might be. But it's fun not to give it away and just to lean into the Kawa Boomer thing and just say I'm 60 years old.
So you Kobanga Boomer, okay. I got you. Yeah. They don't like you on Reddit, and which I don't understand. But would you ever like to change your pitch?
I don't know. The thing about Reddit is that they don't like anybody really. It's just, we like to think of Reddit as kind of like a monolith where it's a hive mind and everyone thinks the same way, but really it's not like that, right? Because you'll have some Reddit threads that will absolutely glaze, like Sophie Campbell's TMNT run, which was awful, and then you'd have other Reddit threads that would constantly bash on her. So really to say well, Reddit doesn't like this or Reddit likes this, it's usually not accurate. It's fun to kind of shit on Reddit. But I'm sure there are a lot of Redditors that actually do enjoy my content, and they just don't talk about it, or really the demographic of people who enjoy my content doesn't really overlap with Reddit that much. So I don't know. I'm not really going to change or adjust my content to fit the demographics of people on Reddit. If they don't like it, it's fine. I know some of them do. I've seen some people, in Reddit threads, say positive things about my videos, and it's kind of fun when they don't like me. It's kind of fun to lean into the villain thing and being a villain of the TMNT community. I know myself and my Ninja Turtles channel, we were called the Waluigi and Wario of TMNT. So I don't know. It's kind of a fun thing. It's fun. I like the sort of hostile relationship I have with Reddit.
Yeah, discussion about your haters is really fun.
Oh yeah, and it's like I can I can have fun with it. I can make content out of it. I can react to it sometimes. And, at the end of the day, it's all just stupid, silly internet stuff anyway, right? It's not a big deal. So that's how I view it.
Yeah, it's a good way. So we talked about Russian fandom, like not talk about, we touched it in start of our video interview. So have you some videos about your attitude for Russian towards TMNT, and which is very interesting, by the way. Do you have any Russian friends or colleagues who are fans of TMNT?
I do have Russian friends and colleagues. Nobody in the TMNT space. Sadly, I don't really talk to a lot of other TMNT creators or TMNT people. They tend not to really reach out. Some cool Russian creators have commented on my TMNT in Russia videos, but that's about the extent of it. I'd like to collaborate more with people, especially in the Russian community, but it just hasn't happened yet.
I'll be honest, in Russia, like in YouTube, only me publishing a video about TMNT.
I've collaborated with My Ninja Turtles channel quite a bit, and he's the only other TMNT YouTuber I've really collaborated with.
Yeah, he's so good guy. I love his videos. He's so cool.
Oh yeah, he's great.
Yeah,
he inspired me. Yeah.
You usually make videos about comics most of the time. What is your favorite comic?
Definitely, I'd say TMNT number 41 in the original Volume 1 Mirage run. It was written and illustrated by Matt Howarth, and I loved his art, and I loved his writing. It was Turtle Dreams. There were like 4 or 5 short stories in there, and it was just a fun read. It was one of the earliest TMNT comics I read, and I was a bit younger when I read it, so some of them really resonated with me. Like there was a short story in there where Leo went to school, for example, and it's funny because I like the way that Howarth did it, and even though I complain about the Mutant Mayhem Turtles and how they went to school, Matt Howarth kind of like had fun with it, kind of poked fun at the idea a little bit. And in that same issue, he kind of poked fun at the popularity of the Turtles at large, and how it kind of contrasts to the original essence of the comic. That was in Donnie's dream in that issue. I'm gonna make a video about that soon, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, definitely issue number 41. It was a great issue.
Yeah, I don't know, but I know what you love comics a lot. So I don't read comics very often, but I like Last Ronin. Like, it's so good comic, and he's so popular, and this reason why I read it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and if anyone wants to get into the TMNT comics in particular, I have a video kind of explaining all the different comics and how to buy them, what volumes to buy, because I feel like there are a lot of TMNT fans who aren't necessarily comic fans, and that's fine. I wouldn't really consider myself like a really big comic fan, right? Like, I'm not going out and reading like every like Batman and Superman and Spider-Man issue. It's really the kind of indie comics from the 80s and 90s, where TMNT got its roots. That's kind of like the sweet spot in the comic world that I like. But comics at large, the greater comics industry, yeah, I don't know. I don't really care that much. But it's definitely those 80s and 90s comics, especially the TMNT, that I really love.
Yeah. So next question: how do you feel about new comics with that non-binary characters? Partially, but can you tell us more about it?
You mean like the new TMNT comics?
Non-binary characters, like non-binary characters and new comics.
Oh, you mean like the LGBT?
Yeah, I'm talking about it.
Oh, well, I noticed in your bio you have pronouns. What's going on with that, man? I see you have he, him. Are you one of those? Are you one of those LGBT pronoun people? But no, I mean,
No,
really,
me?
I'm
No, fuck him. Fuck this people. Like, really, I'm just want,
I'm just
I'm just
I'm
want to hear
joking.
your
I'm
option.
joking.
Yeah, I got it. So like, I saw a video about an albino trans turtle, and it's like, what was your first talk when you saw the shit?
Yeah, it's like, so growing up, I was lucky to have gotten some of the old 80s comics from my older brother and my dad. And I grew up reading those classic 80s comics, and that was my first exposure to the turtles. So I was really lucky in that regard. And there was a long time though, kind of in the middle of my life, where turtles kind of lapsed out of my life for a while. So your time goes by, I'm still nostalgic for the turtles, and then I pick up the IDW comics. And I'm reading them, and a lot of it's great stuff. And then Sophie Campbell comes around, and I'm reading Sophie Campbell's run, and I was just like in disbelief when I started reading Campbell's run, when I saw all of the furry characters, for lack of a better term. I mean, the Ninja Turtles, they've always had anthropomorphic animals, but it was like furry overload in the Mutant Town arc. It was nothing like the Turtles have ever seen before. And there were now like gay characters and like trans allegories, and there was all of this like inherent queerness in the book, and I was just shocked. I was just in disbelief at it.
I can't hear about LGBTQ in TMNT comics. I'm really can't.
Yeah, it doesn't fit. That's not what the Ninja Turtles are about. A lot of people, they like to say, well, the Ninja Turtles, it was always about accepting people, and people can cope and say stuff like that. But really, the Ninja Turtles, what it was originally about, and you can go back and you can read interviews from Eastman and Laird from 1984. They would say themselves, yeah, it was just a silly talking animal comic juxtaposed with the seriousness of the ninja action. It was ironic, it was funny, it was satirical and serious all at the same time. But one thing or two things that they never said it was about accepting people and being kind or being political, right? It wasn't political, it wasn't about acceptance or any of that stuff. It was about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It was about this ironic situation where these funny talking animals are in this serious ninja battle in the story of vengeance with Oroku Saki and Hamato Yoshi. It's that genius weirdness of it. That's really what it was all about. That's really what the essence of the Ninja Turtles is and originally was.
Yeah, like I really don't understand like this shit. So we're going to the new question. Do you ever feel pressured by fan expectations, or do you prefer to ignore them?
I don't really feel any pressure from viewers or Ninja Turtles fans or anybody really. It's just the way I go about making videos is really I make videos that I would like to see, that I would like to watch. And my only real expectation that I feel that I have is to make the best possible video I can, within a realistic time period, right? I take about a week to make a video. So that's the expectations I have for myself. And if people don't like the videos I make, well, oh well. I mean, maybe you'll like the next one. But I do, though, appreciate when people leave suggestions or comments or that sort of thing, because a lot of my videos have kind of started as like a suggestion or a comment or somebody mentioning it offhand. So it's not like I don't appreciate suggestions, but as far as expectations go, I feel like I'm not really concerned about viewer expectations.
So you love expectations from your fans, from your Rise fans, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, the Rise fans, I mean, they look. if the Rise fans don't like my critiques about the Rise fandom, then it's fine. I've never actually done like a full-fledged official review of Rise. I've complained about the Rise fandom and Rise fans, and I would say that what I consider Rise fans is different than Ninja Turtles fans who happen to like Rise, right? Like if somebody likes Rise, I don't have a problem with them at all, right? It's the people who only like Rise. Those are the really annoying people. It's like years later, they're still trying to get like a season 3, and all they care about is Rise. They don't care about the essence of the Ninja Turtles. They don't care about the original Turtles. They don't care about anything except for Rise. It's those people that are just so annoying, and they're such a vocal minority, but like they're all over the place. They'll tweet like 100 times per day. They're just annoying, and I hate them.
Yeah, I'm also hate Rise fans. I'm like really hate, because like his Russian fandom is fucked up. Usually this fandom consists of 12-year-old girls who write terrible fan fiction and give the chicks all orientation. Like everyone expects the hetero. So gays, lesbian, transgender, and same shit. So I really hate it.
The Russian fandom even has those people. Wow.
Only girls, not boys, only girls, not women.
Yeah,
girls.
Pretty much the same thing, I guess, around the world then, because that's my experience with the Russian fandom as well. Usually they're like teenage girls, or they really like Rise. The Rise fandom is usually teenage girls. Yeah, it's crazy. But I thought that the Russian fandom, was mostly kind of more mature. I thought they liked the 87 show a lot. So I thought like a subset really liked the Mirage comics and that sort of thing. So it is surprising to me to hear that the Russian fandom has those weird Rise people as well. Yep.
Yeah. I want to ask you, what TMNT version is most underrated and overrated? I mean, serious.
I'd say it's kind of funny. I think that the Mirage comics are pretty overrated, and I say this as
serious. I mean serious, not comics.
Oh, series. Okay. Well, I'm gonna finish my point real quick, just so people don't misunderstand me. But as for the comics, I do think that the Mirage comics are a little bit overhyped. People talk about the grittiness way too much. It gets really annoying. I think a lot of people don't understand the Mirage comics as much as they should when they talk about it. And I think that the comics are good, but there's a lot of like really bad stuff in there. But as far as series, overrated, I mean, I would say Rise is overrated, but the reality is that it's not that overrated, because really it's a minority of people who like Rise. That's why Rise didn't get a season 3. That's why nobody bought the Rise toys. So Rise isn't really overrated. It's because it's just a minority, a very small minority who happens to be vocal that like Rise. I'd say the 03 show is super overrated, because I don't know, it's good. It's good, but it's like people act like it's like handed down directly from Jesus or something, People act like it's this perfect unmatchable series, and it's not. I mean, the animation isn't great in some parts of the series. It can be a little bit slow. Sometimes things were adapted from the comics to the show, and they were like kind of really stretched out and dragged on, right? Like the end of the Triceraton arc, it had like one extra episode that I think probably shouldn't have been there. So it's things like that. Like it dragged on sometimes. People pretend that it's perfect when it's not. There's some animation issues. So I'd say, 03 is overrated. I would be tempted to say 87 is overrated, but I think people recognize the faults in 87, right? People recognize that 87 had some animation issues. 87, some of the voices were meh, even though the voice actors are beloved and whatnot. I'm not saying that, but people recognize the faults with 87. And it's those faults that kind of make up the charm of 87. It's like, it's a beloved, flawed, classic cartoon, and everybody loves it. Everybody's fine with it. So that's why I'd pick 03 over 87 as overrated. Underrated is definitely Next Mutation. I mean, Next Mutation is bad in a lot of ways. I hated the introduction of Venus. But there's a lot of things that are cool about the series. I think the whole like Chinese Asian mysticism thing is kind of interesting, even though I think it should have been more of a Japanese angle. They kind of I don't know, but they kind of lean more into like Chinese stuff, but it's fine. I think that's very interesting. So yeah, we can hate Next Mutation for a lot of reasons. We can hate that it was live action. We can hate the costumes and the do-rags, and we can hate Venus. But a lot of the good things about the Next Mutation are always overlooked. So those would be my answers.
Yeah, I think like underrated is a lot of TMNT. Like, I think it's good, not great but good, and people's often underrated this series, but I can understand him. Have you ever regretted uploading a specific video?
It's kind of funny. I was thinking about doing a series called Petty Grievances, where I go over some of my earlier videos, which were heavily criticized because at the time when I first started my channel, I didn't quite find the right audience. So my videos were being recommended to the wrong sort of TMNT fans. So I received a lot of heavy criticism early on, and I was going to have this Petty Grievances series where I go back and rewatch those videos and kind of live react to them and kind of explain in more detail what I was thinking, because some of them I had the right idea, but I didn't fully articulate what I meant. They were kind of shorter than I would make now. I don't regret those videos. Those videos were great, and a lot of people found me through those videos. So I wouldn't say I regret them. There is one video that I made that I think a lot of people really misunderstood. It was the video, it was right after Mutant Mayhem was released. It was like, is Splinter gay in Mutant Mayhem? And a lot of people watched that video without actually watching the video and listening to what I was saying. So what happened was that there was marketing material made for Mutant Mayhem that had Scumbug as a man. And as we know, Splinter and Scumbug end up together at the end. But in the actual movie, in the final cut, Scumbug is a woman. So Splinter wasn't gay, but we could make an argument, we could make an inference to think that maybe he was intended to be gay originally when they first created the movie. I mean, otherwise, how would these marketing materials with Scumbug as a male get out there? Big companies like Paramount, these marketing materials go through so many different reviews. You know, I've worked at big companies before, And something like that wouldn't get past all of these reviews and QAs unless it was intentional at one point, which really that was my main point in the video. My main point wasn't that, oh yeah, Splinter was definitely turned gay. No, my point was that, was he potentially intended to be gay? So I don't know, that video kind of was misunderstood, and I definitely have some grievances with how it was received, but I wouldn't say I regret it.
So thank you for interesting answer. So next question, what frustrates you most about the current TMNT fandom?
I'd say, the fandom is what it is. There are a lot of, kids and Rise fans and those sorts of people. But however, you should expect that when it comes to any fandom, right? Like you can look at like Transformers or Sonic or any fandom that kind of attracts like a high amount of like autistic people. There's going to be kids in that fandom as well who are really annoying. So it's fine. Like I accept that that's a part of the fandom. What really upsets me about the Ninja Turtles in general is how the property's being handled by Paramount and IDW. I think the fandom, whatever. I know that the TMNT has a really old fandom. Like I think I saw like a statistic, like 66% or more of men are fans of the Ninja Turtles in one way or another. So there's a lot of like latent, like dormant Ninja Turtles fans out there. And if Paramount or IDW made something good, I know that those fans, those normal people, those adult men would like come out of the woodwork and they would like consume that content and they'd be happy with it. So the fandom itself is fine because it's so vast. There's so many different parts. I don't really care for deconstructing that. It's really how the property is being handled where I have my issue. I want Paramount to make like a good movie or greenlight a good show on Nickelodeon, and I want IDW to stop shooting themselves in the foot and sabotaging their comics. That's what I want.
Really, kids is annoyed, but old men, like old people's, I think, how you say, really like TMNT, but they are not talking about it in community and with like friends or strangers, I don't know.
Exactly, yep.
Yeah, so what do you look for when reviewing a new TMNT project? What makes it good or bad?
I'd say I talk about this a lot, but I really think TMNT should adhere to the essence of the Ninja Turtles, right? I think all TMNT projects, all TMNT products and content should, at the end of the day, at least have the essence of the Ninja Turtles and what made the Ninja Turtles, fun and interesting and unique and weird early on. My requirement, if I worked at Paramount as like a Ninja Turtles consultant or something like that, it would be, okay, you need to read TMNT #1, from May 1984. You need to read that before you write anything related to TMNT, because so many products are now like missing the mark. They're missing what makes the Ninja Turtles interesting. Like Mutant Mayhem, it focuses on the teenage aspect of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles like way too much, and that was the least important part of the TMNT. I mean, and as a testament to that, just look at Volume 4 of TMNT. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles aren't even teenagers in Volume 4, and yet it's still TMNT, and nobody's thinking, well, that's not really TMNT because they're not teenagers. No, the teenager aspect is the least important aspect, so we should stop focusing on that aspect. It's a no-brainer to me.
Yeah, there's many aspects to relating any projects. What's a topic or idea you haven't covered yet but really want to?
I want to I want to do a review of Rise. I want to do like a 2012 review. I definitely want to hit on some of these iterations that I haven't talked about in detail. To be honest, it's a lot easier for me to review and talk about comics because I can just pull them up. I can just take the screen grabs. But when you're talking about shows and movies, it gets kind of complicated, and there's always copyright issues with them, and it's kind of a headache. But I definitely want to talk more about the shows and the movies for sure. I want to talk about the 07 movie a lot more. I haven't really touched on that too much. But other than that, I have like over 50 video ideas just kind of waiting in the background. Every time I get an idea, I just kind of write it down, and sometimes I make a brief outline. So I just have like way too many ideas right now. I'd like to get them all out eventually, and then maybe I can die peacefully and happily knowing that I did everything I wanted to do.
I have only one idea right now, but
you'll get there. Just when you're out doing something, when you're doing chores or whatever, or like when you're in a shower, just kind of think about the ideas will flow, and then don't let them go. Just write them down as they come to you.
Yeah,
that's how you just
every second of my life, like really.
Yeah, and that's how the ideas flow.
Oh, it's a good answer or a good question right now. What's your goal on YouTube?
I've said in the past that I want to be too big to ignore. I want to influence TMNT in a way that I think is positive. So basically what that means is that I want Paramount and IDW to make good TMNT stuff again. That's really my main goal.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, and as far as everything else, growing the channel, that would always be nice. Having more people watching, more people engaging with me, just having more little internet friends to chatter with is fine. But really, my main goal is I want fun TMNT stuff again. That's it.
Yeah, same. I'm like,
yep.
So I'm like, want to make TMNT popular. Not popular. I mean, want to review it in Russia because it was popular. But right now, how see all peoples in Russian fandom, it's not popular right now. So that's my goal. Promoting TMNT society.
I think in the Russian community, I've searched for a lot of TMNT videos in Russia. I like to do thumbnail research, so sometimes I'll search for content in different languages to see how content I wouldn't normally see is being I guess I don't know if marketed is the right term, but seeing how other people present their videos essentially, because I wouldn't normally come across Russian TMNT videos or like Spanish or French or Chinese TMNT videos. So I'll do quick searches sometimes, and there weren't a lot of very like TMNT focused Russian TMNT channels. There would be like comic channels that talk about TMNT sometimes and that sort of thing, but there weren't a lot of like TMNT focused channels in Russia. So it would definitely be cool to see more of that, because I know there are a lot of great TMNT Russian fans out there. It's just that they're not getting content that's properly served to them right now.
I want to add more languages in my video, but I think this interview will be on 2 languages, like Russian and in original English. So in Russian, more people will know me. In English also. Yeah.
Awesome.
Sorry for my
that's
English.
Great.
Yeah.
No, you're fine.
I want about your merch. Do you earn money from your merch or like your content?
So, as far as my merch, I made most of my merch that I've made. I've lost money on, and I make it primarily just for myself, like my comic box labels.
Yeah, it's so
so
good,
I
really.
yeah. So I made those because I wanted labels for my comic boxes. So I'm like, okay, well, I would like to buy that. So that's why I made those and uploaded them on my site
really
shop.tatoruzu.com.
really
And then the hoodies and the shirts with the shell design on the back. I don't know. I thought that'd be cool, so I made it. So yeah, I do get sales, but you know, it's not like an avalanche, and it's mostly for selfish reasons, because these are things that I would like, and I don't really see a lot of YouTubers in the TMNT space with like cool merch or cool products or anything like that.
No, like having your own comic book, it's like it's so good thing. Like having your own stickers, it's really good. Like for yourself.
Yeah, I haven't quite gotten to the stage where I have a comic book out yet, but the stickers are definitely, and the labels are definitely maybe a step in that direction. Maybe someday there will be like I'll start a publishing company or something.
Yeah. I want to talk about another creator by TMNT. Like, which bloggers, YouTubers you follow?
So, well, first things first, I need to give a shout out to my Ninja Turtles channel, just because he was such a big influence on me. I loved his live streams. I loved his videos. They always made me laugh, and he was a big inspiration for me. So definitely have to give him a shout out. And other influences I've had, I really liked this guy called E:R, and he made some great kind of video essays, not related to TMNT, but about other properties. And he was a pretty big influence on me. Some of his delivery, just the way he went about his videos, I really like his style and his humor, his slight edginess. Really early on, the very first YouTuber I ever watched was Angry Video Game Nerd, and in fact, it was his Ninja Turtles video game review from like 2006 or something like that. So that was the very first YouTube video I watched, and I'd say he had a pretty big influence on me. I don't know if you could see that DNA in my videos, but ever since discovering him, it's just been I don't know. That's really what got me into YouTube. So his DNA must be in my videos somehow. Also, JonTron, I'd say it was a big influence on me. I liked JonTron's videos back in the day. Sometimes in my videos I have like a turtle pointing finger hand. I kind of took that from JonTron. Sometimes he would have hands pointing in his videos. So you could see that DNA. I was also influenced by this guy called Rebel Taxi. He makes good videos about fiction and TV shows and that sort of thing. And I definitely was inspired by him. I took a lot of his DNA, I guess you could say. So yeah, definitely a ton of influences.
Yeah, I saw their video, but I don't follow them. But I'm really like to watch Torisaursky. Her, yeah, I like her videos.
Yeah, I mean, some of her. I mean, I'm not always watching Tori's videos, but there were some that I had issue with. Her video about April in particular, where she made some really cringe comments about Baxter Stockman. I made a video reacting to that, but yeah, I mean, some of her content's fine. I mean, she's a cute girl, you know, like that's always a plus to watch a video with a cute girl rather than crusty old me. So I'll give her that.
Yeah, but I like Torisaursky and my Ninja Turtles channel. He's so I started doing video because I saw his video. Like, I can say what he's my idol. Like,
I think the first video I saw of his was his video on, I think it was the Mutagen Man. For some reason that video of his blew up, but then I saw his video, I think it was like, are the Ninja Turtles black or something like that, and there was some just great line. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he's so funny, but there were just some great lines in that video. Like, there's like the classic, like, the Ninja Turtles are brothers, but are they brothers? It's like that kind of play on words. Like, I don't know. He's just a genius when it comes to that. I don't know how. I wish I could be like as half as funny as he is, but I can't be. So that's why I make the style of videos I do. But it's like his humor is like snappy, like it's funny. It's perfect. It's just every video is a masterpiece.
He's talking about classic themes, how you say, but he talking about funny and so atmosphere, like so.
Oh yeah.
Really, but I was followed the old Turtle then, but right now no, because he has more informative videos than interactive ones, and this is very noticeable from the views.
Yeah, the thing about the old Turtle Den, and a lot of his stuff's great, but a lot of his stuff is for kind of, I don't know, but I wouldn't say beginners, but maybe people who are just kind of getting into the Ninja Turtles. But also he does videos about like Ninja Turtles news, and that stuff's kind of nice to see, right? Because if you're not always on social media, you can see the old Turtle Den covering the news, so that's great. I like having him there for that kind of niche kind of news stuff. Another creator who's kind of good at covering, ongoing like news and new developments is Talking Turtles Productions. Talking Turtles Productions, I think that's his name now. Talking Turtles Productions, and he covers a lot of Ninja Turtles news. So I watch his videos from time to time.
He like talking. He like legends, right? In TMNT community. Mm-hmm. He only ones, who have more than 100,000 subscribers.
The old Turtle Den, definitely. Yeah. The old Turtle Den has like a ton of subscribers, like just 176,000. Because he's been in the community for so long. He's done so much for the community. So I could say negative things about the old Turtle Den. I could critique how they do their social media and whatnot, but really the guy, I don't know if there's a team, but they're a legendary channel.
So last question, like, what would you say to someone who just discovering TMNT today?
That's a hard one. I would say if you're just discovering TMNT, I would say pick up any of the collected books that cover the first several Mirage issues. There are so many of them. There are so many books kind of collecting those first few issues. I would say pick that up, so you can read TMNT number 1, because TMNT number 1, it's really what the Ninja Turtles should be centered around. It's really what the identity of the Ninja Turtles should be centered around. And for most of the history of the Ninja Turtles, it really did set the tone, the vibe, just really the general feeling around the Ninja Turtles. So I would say that. I would say pick up, go to your local bookstore. They probably have some trade paperbacks or hardcovers in the graphic novel section. I hate the term graphic novel, but they probably have some turtle books there. Pick one up covering the first few issues, and I know that you'll like it. So that's what I'd say.
So did everyone hear this man is saying important things? Yeah?
Sorry, what was that?
Did everyone hear this man is saying important things? Yeah?
Important things?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. So you're saying that I'm saying important things?
Yeah, I'm saying this.
Okay.
That was the last question, and that's where our interview comes to an end. So, Tatoruzu, how would you rate this interview?
I'd say this interview was definitely a solid 8 out of 10. I'm sorry for my small American brain if sometimes there was some miscommunication.
Talking like that.
But overall, it was a great interview. It was nice talking to you, and maybe next time I can have you on my channel.
Yeah, thank you. But this was the first interview, and who knows, it may be not this last. Thank you so much for agreeing to come. I was really surprised that you agreed, to be honest. So this interview can let your fans know more about you. And thank you all for watching. Support this video. 20ban and Tatoruzu will be with you. Bye everyone. Good luck.
Thank you. Bye.